everyone, in this video we're going to go over some of the best ways to study as shown by research. Hopefully this will give you some good ideas for how to improve your studying. Now, I see a lot of students who work really hard and they put a lot of time into their studying, but what I see from a lot of students is that they're studying in the wrong ways, or they're using study habits that have not been shown to be very effective. So what are the best ways to study? Let's start with some of the not effective ways to study, or ways that have been shown to be less effective as study methods or study habits. First of all, highlighting your notes or your text is not an effective way to learn the material or to retain the material. Also, rewatching a video or rereading the same material again is also not as effective as some of the other strategies that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Rewatching a video is not going to help you understand it any better if you didn't understand it the first time. Now, if you need to go back and watch it again because you weren't paying attention the first time, that's something different. But rereading an entire chapter in a text or rewatching an entire video just because you did not understand or to get a review is not going to necessarily help you learn better. Now, let's talk about music. Now, I know a lot of my students really like to work with music when they are studying or when they're reviewing, but research has shown that it is best for you if you're working in a quiet environment. When you're dealing with tasks or trying to study different pieces of information all at one time, the music is actually going to put an extra strain on your brain, and you're going to have what's called too heavy of a cognitive load, or a really heavy working memory demand. And so your learning outcomes and your learning benefits are going to go down the more music you have in the background. Now, there is a spectrum to this. So music with lyrics is actually going to be the least beneficial for you. Music without lyrics is still not great because your brain is still searching for patterns within that sound and is serving as a distractor, but it's better than music with lyrics. Finally, ambient noise such as cafe sounds or other things like white noise, so static noises, or nature sounds like rain, can be a little bit better for studying purposes than just instrumental music, and definitely better than music with lyrics, but the best environment is a quiet environment for your studying purposes. So what are some of the best ways to study? As I've said before, writing your notes down as you're studying or as you're learning the material by hand is much more beneficial than writing them digitally or typing them on the computer, and there are studies to back this up as well. But let's talk about actual study strategies after you've learned the material. So flashcards are a really effective way to practice the material if you need to memorize something. So write something on one side of the card, turn it over, write the definition or the explanation on the back. You can also create Quizlet cards online pretty easily, or search for a pre-existing Quizlet or other flashcard app if you're looking for common terms. Next, practice questions are one of the most effective ways to study. As you practice the information and self-check with an answer key or an online quiz, you can figure out what you're getting wrong and where your misconceptions are. And finally, teaching or explaining the material to somebody else is a really effective way to study. Think of all the times you've said, okay, I understand it, but I can't explain it. That explaining it is actually going to help you understand the material even better and be able to retain it for longer. So make sure you are able to explain it to somebody else, and that's why it's beneficial to study in a group too. There's other study strategies out there, such as creating mnemonics or easily rememberable acronyms or rhymes or phrases so that you can remember the material come test time, and memory palaces and different other study strategies. I'll link a document below this video with some effective study strategies as well as ones I really recommend, and I'll also attach some of the research that backs up these study effects and study habits that I have said in this video. All right, everyone, thanks for listening, and I hope you try some of these new study strategies soon.